it's Matt from the Domain Media Group, and we're going to get started today on our tutorial on how to set up Google Apps free for your domain and have your own Google Apps account tied to your domain name, so you have an email address instead of @gmail.com. It will be @yourdomainname.com. So first thing is to cover the prerequisites before we get started. The first and foremost thing is you need to have a domain that's set up and is hosted and live on the internet so that you can verify with the Google servers to be able to activate your email. You need to be able to have access to uploading a file and or accessing DNS information. Actually both. You'll need both. But there's two ways to verify your domain name. You can do a DNS record insertion domain verification, or you can upload a small file that Google provides to you upon setting up your domain and put that via FTP, and it'll verify your domain that way. That by far is the easiest and also the quickest. The next thing you'll need is, of course, to be able to make the MX record changes to your domain so that mail is starting to be delivered through your Google Apps account. So those are the prerequisites to get started, and we're going to go ahead and start setting up our Google Apps for free account right here. So you can go to google.com/A. You would go over to Solutions and select Google Apps Free. That's going to bring you up to this page here when you click the button that says Get Started. And we'll just close that window. And we're going to put our domain name. So we've got a client right now that is just setting up with us, and we do include Google Apps Free setup for all our hosting accounts. So that's so we're going to use this tutorial on while we're setting it up for one of our clients. So their domain is, you just put the domain name that you're going to use. If you don't have a domain, you can also buy one directly from Google right here at the time of setup. But we're going to go with this option here. Get started. Perfect. And then now you will want to put your account administration information. So I'm just going to put my name for now. There we go. And we will just go with, let's just do something generic, but you can put any email address that you want. And then you got to figure out this fancy image. Scroll down and hit agree. And this option here is automatically enable free new services, and we're going to do that. Hit accept and continue. That's going to chug along, and boom. So we're just going to go with the Express. Now this walks you through a little bit of a setup on the different way to access. This is really good if you're not familiar with Google Apps. But for this tutorial, we're just going to jump right into activating our email. But you can, once you set up your own account, go through these, and that'll help you get through all the information that you need there. So we're going to go to Verify Domain Ownership, and we can click Next here. And there's two options, like I said, upload an HTML file, and then the alternative method, which is a DNS. And this is the one we're going to do for today, just because the site is not hosted specifically yet. So we, again, not following my prerequisites, but this is a secondary option if your site isn't hosted and live yet. So we're going to add a DNS record. And of course, if you're hosting with any of these providers, you can choose those. We're just going to go Other. And what it wants you to do is create a text record. So I've got the DNS information here. I want to create a new record that we're going to add. This is the DNS portal for this specific domain. And we're going to add a text record. And we want the information to be related like this. So we're going to copy that, Control C. I'm going to go over here and paste that here, there. And I'm going to set my, for this domain DNS server, our minimum time to live is 5 minutes. So we're going to set 5 there. and that's the shortest time, so we can verify our domain, and we're going to hit append. And your system might have update, add, those types of things. So every DNS is a little bit different. The big thing to remember that if you're adding MX records or verifying your domain through DNS, this is a very important step, and if you make a mistake, you can also affect the visibility of your website if it's already hosted and live. Okay, we waited approximately 5 minutes, so hopefully that record is live now and we can go ahead and try to verify it. So we're going to hit verify, and it's good. So now we have verified our domain, and the last step in getting your email active is, of course, getting your MX record. So we're going to bypass this wizard right now and go ahead to the dashboard in the control panel. And then down here we have our core services with the Google Apps account. We're going to go activate email. And again, we're just going to use other unless you're setting up an account and you have these already, but we'll just use other so that it covers everybody. And these are the MX records that we want to create and their priorities. So the easiest way, again, I still have my DNS thing set up, my DNS management tool set up here. So we're going to create an MX record. I'm going to copy the first one, and it's a priority of 10, and again I'm going to put 5 minutes, append, or sorry, 5 seconds I think is what that default is. And we're going to go to the second one here, Control C, and we're going to add an MX record, Control V, and that's a 20, and we're doing 5 as well, and append for this particular one. Alright, we've created all our MX records, so we just want to double check here. We have the first one at a priority 10, then we have Alt 1 and 2 at a priority 20, and then 2 and 3 at a priority of 30. We've set the time to live to the lowest minimum this DNS server will allow us, and we are just going to go back over to our Google Apps. We've done this. The last step is you can also create an SPF policy that will help with spam. We're not going to cover that in this tutorial. This is really about getting you set up so that you can send and receive email through your Google Apps account, and maybe we'll do that in a future tutorial there. So now that we've done that, we're going to hit I've completed these steps, and it's going to go through now and check the MX records to make sure they're live. So until that happens, technically our email is not functioning. So we'll give that a few minutes and then we'll check it out to see if it's live. Okay, so now what we like to do is we're back. Google's still verifying the MX records, but I'm pretty sure it's functioning. But we can always test that by going to a website that I like to use sometimes. MX Toolbox is what they're called. That's mxtoolbox.com. And then what we want to do is we just want to copy, or you can type it in as well, but I like to cheat, so Command C or Control C. And we're just going to do an MX record lookup to see if the records have verified in the DNS. So they have. So we know we're set up. So at that point, we are ready to go. We can go ahead and create users for our email. One of the other things I like to do is also update our URLs so that it's easy for us to get to our mail services and on the other services with Google Apps. So you come into the service that you're doing. We're doing mail here. We're going to change it. I like to use Gmail. This is just me and Demang as personally. This is what we use, gmail.flyfishingcanada.org. We're going to go continue. It's going to ask us to create a CNAME record. So again, we're going to go back to our DNS, CNAME, and it's going to point to ghs.google.com for this particular DNS server. Again, each server is different. Some will ask for the dots and some will not. We're going to set the time to live to 5, which is our minimum that this server will allow us to do, and then hit update, and there it is there. And then we can just go through and hit I've completed that. That's going to bring us back to our dashboard. Oh, and at that point too, we can now see that our email is live. And then we're going to update those services for calendar as well. Change URL and hit calendar. And again, just to make quick, Command C or Control C on the Mac or on the PC, and hit continue. And go back to our DNS, add a CNAME, Control V or Command V, depending on your platform. Google.com. And the time to live is 5. Append. And I've completed these steps. And again, we'll go through that on docs and sites. We can set that up as well. And so basically what that does is allow us, so if we open a link in a new tab, allows us for an easy to remember URL to get to our Gmail or Google Apps mail that's now live. And here we are with Google Apps free, and we're able to do all the things. And again, our email will be sent from our domain, and we're set up. You can go through and set up the different URLs for those. Also, I do recommend or encourage you guys to look through the marketplace to see if there's any other add-ons you'd like to include, or be sure to contact us if you have any questions. Thanks again, Matt at Demang Media. Look forward to talking to you next time.